One of the easiest mistakes to make when updating a home is assuming the answer is to start over. New floors, new trim, new cabinets. But often, the biggest improvements come from what already exists. It's likely that your room has things worth keeping. The challenge many of us face is those items not being supported by anything around them. Like a company of soldiers without radios. Each one of them is on their own mission, and we need to get them on the same target. Recently, a gentleman named Mark reached out about his 200-year-old home, which had a library and an adjacent bar. He said, "I'd like to refine the space. It has a great base, but it needs a cohesive look and feel." I think that's an important distinction. He wasn't asking us to completely reinvent the room, nor was he asking us to erase the history of a 200-year-old home. He recognized there was already something worth preserving. He felt like the room hadn't quite reached its potential. And after looking through the existing photos, we understood exactly what he meant. My name is Chaudhry, and today I'm sharing with you a project that was less about creating character and more about uncovering the character that was already there. If you would like our help in designing your room, you can have that help by clicking the link in the description below. Whenever you walk into an older home, you want to try to answer one question before anything else. What has this house already done well? Because if you ignore that question, it's very easy to spend money removing the very things that give the home its identity. In Mark's case, there was already quite a bit working in our favor. The original wood paneling, the built-in shelving, the fireplaces, the hardwood floors, even the arched opening leading into the bar. Those aren't problems to solve. They're assets. The room already had a story. It just wasn't being told very clearly. With this room, it was very important to recognize that the paneling was not the issue. This is one of the biggest lessons from this entire project. When people look at pine paneling, they often assume the paneling itself is what makes a room feel dated. That's not what happened here. While looking through Mark's photos, we kept coming back to the same conclusion. The paneling wasn't fighting the room. Everything else was. The furniture belonged to one style, the lighting belonged to another. The television felt provisional, like someone realized it was missing last minute and tossed it in there. The shelving was doing its job, but it wasn't contributing much beyond storage. Nothing felt connected, so instead of asking, how do we get rid of the paneling, we asked, how do we help the paneling become part of a more cohesive room? That one decision changed the direction of the project. One thing you can appreciate about Mark's approach is that he never asked us to strip the room back to drywall and start over. In fact, he specifically mentioned wanting to respect the age of the house. I think that's a mindset more people should consider. Not every older feature deserves to stay, but not every older feature deserves to go either. Some homes already contain the ingredients for a remarkable room. They simply need someone to organize them. That's exactly what happened here. Instead of replacing the architecture, we allowed the architecture to become more noticeable. Once the colors became complementary, once the lighting began emphasizing the right features, and the furnishings felt like they belonged in the house, the paneling, fireplace, built-ins, they all suddenly carried the room the way they were always capable of. It's tempting to look at a room like this and give credit to the wrong thing. People assume the paint color is what creates the atmosphere. The paint is supporting the things creating the atmosphere. Once the walls, cabinetry, and ceiling were treated as one continuous backdrop, a shift occurs. The books become more noticeable, and the artwork gained more presence. The leather seating felt richer, while the fireplace became more prominent. Even the natural light coming through the windows became more dramatic because it was framed by darker surroundings. The noise of the room had been reduced, and when a room becomes quieter, the things that matter finally have a chance to speak. When you compare the before and after, the change in the shelving is really enjoyable to see. Mark already had built-ins, that wasn't new. What changed was how the shelves participated in the room. Instead of disappearing into the background, they became part of the architecture. The integrated lighting plays a big role in that. It isn't there simply to brighten the shelves. It creates depth. It separates the books from the darker cabinetry. And after the sun goes down, those shelves continue contributing to the atmosphere of the room instead of fading into darkness. Light shouldn't just help you see a room. It should help define it. There was another comment that influenced several decisions. Mark mentioned that whenever people come over, everyone eventually ends up around the bar. Comments like this are useful because they tell you how the room behaves. You don't want to fight those habits. You want to embrace them. That's why the library and adjoining bar feel connected instead of separate. The same finishes continue through both spaces. The colors remain consistent. The lighting follows the same language. Walking through the arch doesn't feel like entering another room. It feels like the next chapter of the same experience. There's another decision here that most people wouldn't notice unless it was pointed out. The floor lamps beside the seating areas have a gentle forward arc. At first glance, it seems like a small design detail, but it isn't. Think about sitting in one of these chairs with a book in your lap. A straight floor lamp will brighten the corner of the room, but much of that light stays behind your shoulder. By allowing the shade to project forward just a little, the light falls directly onto the pages where you actually need it. That means the lamp isn't just filling the space, it's supporting the reason the room exists in the first place. The bar is another example of looking at what's already there. Mark wanted to keep the mahogany countertop. That's very reasonable. It already had the warmth and character the room needed. So instead of replacing it, we built around it. The darker millwork gives it more presence. The lighting draws your attention toward the cabinetry. The materials now feel related to the library instead of existing beside it. Very little changed structurally, but the experience changed completely. That's a reminder that transformation isn't always measured by how much you remove. Sometimes it's measured by how well everything begins working together. Looking at the finished room, the biggest success isn't the paint color, or the furniture, or even the library itself. It's that the room finally feels like it belongs in this house. It doesn't feel forced, it feels native. Like a series of dominoes, the paneling finally works with the furniture works with the fireplace works with the library flows naturally into the bar. Everything is moving in the same direction. So before you start making a list of everything you'd like to replace in your home, spend a little time asking yourself what deserves a second look. You may already have the strongest feature in the room. It just needs the rest of the space to finally support it. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up. If you feel like sticking around a while, feel free to subscribe. See you in the next one.